So I'm coming back from my son's house the other day. I got my wife with me and my grandson and my daughter in tow. And it's about a 45-minute ride back to the house, so it can get kind of long. And as I'm driving down the road, I reach my hand behind my beautiful wife and I put it on the back of her chair, which just so happens to be right in front of my grandson's car seat. Well, I'm driving along for a couple of minutes and I feel my daughter's finger on my hand, or on my arm. And she says, "What's that?" And my grandson looks up at her and says, "That's Grandpa." She picks a different spot, points it out and says, "Well, what's that?" And he says, "That's Grandpa." Then, a couple of seconds later, a couple of minutes later, she's rolling down the road and she points at this ring here. And she taps on it and she says, "Well, what's that?" And I've handed him this ring several times, so he knows what it is. And he says, "That's Grandpa's ring. Grandpa's ring." Now, the amazing part isn't that he knows sign language or parts of it. He knows quite a few words, and he's actually pretty good at it. The amazing part was, while she was pointing at my arm, all he saw was my arm. He didn't see pictures. He didn't say colors. He didn't state anything like that. As far as he is concerned, I was born this way. He doesn't judge me for it. He doesn't look twice at me for it. He loves me and he knows I love him. And I thought to myself, as I'm seeing this and I'm grinning, I'm just grinning to beat the band because I'm watching the whole thing in the rearview mirror. And he's adamant. I mean, dead on adamant. When she pointed at my arm, he said, "That's Grandpa." Cut and dry. No ifs, ands, or buts. No other little colors. Nothing. Cut and dry. That's Grandpa. And as we're riding along and I'm grinning like this, my wife looks over at me because she's hearing the whole thing too. She looks over at me and she goes, "What are you grinning about?" And she's smiling and I said, "I think I have honestly just saw one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life." And mind you, I've seen some pretty cool things in my life. And she asked me what it was. And I said, well, she asked about what was on my arm, and he didn't see nothing. He didn't see color. He didn't see nothing. I could have been anything, and I would always still be Grandpa. And what amazed me so much is that being a child, they never see color. They don't hate. You can put children in a room together, they don't hate each other. They might not see eye to eye, but they don't hate nobody. And that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Because it was unbridled right there. And when you ask people, about their children, they'll say, "Well, I don't know. Maybe he's just naive. He's young. He's naive." Really? Is he naive? Because the way I look at it, we're all naive. I mean, think about it. If you shut up and listen and watch them, you might realize that we're the ones that are naive. If we think about it real hard, they don't have to think about it at all. They can get along just like getting along. Now, I'm not beating down no racial doors or trying to make the world right. I'm just saying I saw something that amazed me. And I will not forget it. So maybe they ain't naive because they're young. Maybe we're naive because we're old. That stuff has to be taught. Because when you come out, you don't come out like that. You just want to play. A little bit of food, change my diaper. It's kind of what I'm hoping for when I'm really old. Just a thought. Peace.